Tim, welcome.
Thanks, Nick, and it's good to be back here, and thank you to the crowd here. You've been fantastic supporters of mine and our companies, both Chalice and Liontown over the years, and we're very grateful for that.
Thanks, Tim. It's great, and we really appreciate the support that you and Linda have given to this conference over the years. Tim, I know that one of your underlying beliefs and philosophies has always been that it's all about what's in the ground, it's the quality of the asset that ultimately delivers success. So firstly, let's look at Bullabulling. I wanted to ask you what exactly it is, what you bought, and how did you get hold of it?
Well, Bullabulling has been around for a long time. It was discovered in the 1980s by Western Mining. Then it went into the hands of Resolute, who mined the project up to about 2000, and the UK government sold the gold, and gold collapsed down to $350 an ounce. And so that operation was closed. And then the asset was sold to a couple of small companies, and they formed Bullabulling Gold. And that was taken over, that company was taken over in 2014 by a subsidiary of Norton Gold, and then Zijin, the mega Chinese gold company, bought them. And that's who we bought the asset off. So how did we come across it? It was a competitive process. And I guess, it took about 6 months to close the deal with our friends. And it was all about the dollars. And when gold is rising $20, $30 a night, it was pretty hard to nail them down. So I guess, one day the price moved around a lot, but look, we paid $72 an ounce for the resource of 2.3 million ounces, and 60% of that's indicated. Bearing in mind there's been 500,000 metres of drilling in this project, in today's dollars, probably $70 million anyway. So look, we're dealing with the Chinese. I've sold things to the Chinese before, and they understand US dollars. And so after a lot of toing and froing, I said, bugger, offer them $100 million US. And we did. And the following morning they came back and said, you got the deal, but you got to add on $10 million worth of MI6 shares. So yeah, after 6 months, we closed the deal.
Let's bring up this photo, Tim. This is you signing the deal there with Luke. I have to say you and Luke look pretty relaxed on the right there. The guys on the deck look a bit nervous, actually. Whoops, sorry. So tell us about that transaction. You raised $220 million. You basically turned what was effectively a $30 million junior into what is now nearly a $400 million company. What was that experience like? It was a record, really, for an ASX company, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was a record, but it didn't really bother me because we knew the asset. Like, we could stand in front of the likes of BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and tell them the truth, what this asset was, right? And I put $15 million into the placement, and I look upon this deal, I look upon every mining deal as a businessman, as a commercial operator, and I was really confident we could raise some money, and we did. And the help of Argonaut and then Bell Potter, we didn't have too many knockbacks. The money came in, and it shows you what you can do with the right project. And it really is all about the project. I think, we had demonstrated a good track record at Liontown of actually doing what we said. And, hey, we turned a little company like it was capped at, I think the first one we came here was about $10 million. And sure, we had a takeover bid, but it hit 6.6 billion. And so we knew what we could do.
Yeah, and I think Grady's got a few questions on that for you in the panel session. But let's have a quick look at that slide. That's a bit of a history of the project. But more importantly, look at that gold price chart. That's just incredible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
And since you finalised the deal, it's put on roughly $1,000 an hour.
I think it's about 1,350.
Yep. So
Australian. Yeah.
What's your view on you went back to gold, really back to your roots in many ways. What's your view of what the outlook is for gold?
Well, look, I'm not a forecaster, and I think, you look at the bulge bracket banks, and they're all now talking $4,500 US for gold. Look, fundamentally, there's real real demand there. There's demand from the likes of China, the Middle East. The sovereign wealth funds are buying gold. The man in the street are buying the gold. So look, seeing is believing. And so look, I'm not a predictor, but I just think deposits like we've bought, there's not many of them around. Okay, there's other folk who can forecast, but none of them are very good, I don't think. Even the weather ones aren't.
So, Tim, you got straight into it. You got drilling immediately in April, as soon as you settled. And I've got some nice photos here of drill rigs in action on site. How's that program been going? And I suppose, importantly, what's it been telling you about the asset that you bought?
Yeah, so look, we hit the ground running. I think from settlement of paying the $165 million cash, we were drilling within 7 days. We had 4 rigs there. We've now got 7 rigs. We've done 80,000 metres. We've told the market we'll drill 80,000 metres. We've done 80,000. We've now told the market we're going to drill another 30,000 metres. So look, we're getting after it. And so it's told us what we've bought, basically. The telling number is going to be when we have a new resource number in December. But we're confident that we'll more than achieve the 2.3 million ounces we bought as a resource. Okay, so then of course we've got to go through the studies and turn it into a reserve. So, our aspirational target here is to have a 15-year mine life, producing between 130 and 150,000 ounces a year.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I was going to ask if what a project like this could potentially look like in production. Are there any peer companies that
Well, there's peer out there.
look at?
Yeah, look, there's been some very successful companies, and you've got to hand it to them. They've done a fabulous job. Mark Clark and his team at Capricorn, they've turned Carla Winder into which turned into a company, Capricorn. So now nearly a $5 billion company, and their initial production has been about 100,000 ounces a year. Sure, it's moving up to 150, and they also acquired Mount Gibson, which is similar. Both deposits are very similar to Bullabulling.
I think Luke snuck a cross-section in there, but we might skip over that. There's another sort of 3D view of the deposit. What's incredible about this deposit is just the scale of it, isn't it? It's absolutely massive, over 8 kilometres long.
Yeah, and look, considering there's been 500,000 metres and really there's 300,000 metres of RC and diamond in the ore body, but there's still gaps there. And so look, we've got to really build up a very good, solid block model. One thing we've learned at Liontown: get all your technical work spot on, and then you can take production risks and know what you got. And that's what the plan is, and that's what we're doing.
Tim, I know you're big on people, finding the right people, putting them in the right spots. You've been very good at it over the years. Talk us through the team. I know you said the Liontown team here, but there's a few common people there. But talk us about the team that you're putting together at MI6 at the moment. Yeah,
look, we've got a tight board. Dave Richards was the MD of Liontown, and he joined the board of MI6 when we floated it. And then we've got then Luke replaced David a couple of years ago. Luke's an economist, but he's spent all his career in mining, and his last position was head of strategy at Oz Minerals. And I've got to take my hat off. Luke's done a great job, and his expertise has been in BD. But I keep telling him, I want some real miners here, and we're just starting to do that. We just put Russell Brooks on, a young bloke around here. So when you're 70 years old, you want a few young people around you. So Russell's just joined us, educated at Colorado School of Mines. He's done the hard yards at Oz Minerals. He was second in command of the West Musgrave build. So, and then we bring in another mate. So we're sort of getting the game from Oz Minerals, right? So we've got the COO joining us in about 3 weeks' time. So it's important to get the right team. It's important to have people who've got a pulse and who won't get out of bed in the morning and work. I've learnt, when you're getting older, you want someone else to do the work, right? So I think you all agree with that. But yeah, so we're building a team, and that's what we did in Liontown. and we'll continue to in all our companies. It's getting the right people, building up that relationship internally, and then of course with our shareholders.
Speaking of shareholders, you've got some good ones, and there's some pictures from the investor site tour back in May, I think it was. I was lucky enough to be part of that, one of the first trips up there. How's the deal, from your perspective, how's the deal gone down? I mean, it was a little bit of a slow start, but it's really starting to pick up some momentum now, isn't it?
Well, I took a while in Liontown and Chalice to get things going. So, there was probably about 10 years between drinks. But look, we don't have to rush this story. We'll do our work properly. The market will look after itself, right? Because we know what we got. We know the valuation will come in. And look, quite honestly, we got BlackRock across the table. We got Franklin Templeton. We got Rest. We got Samuel Terry, and a lot of private individuals who aren't a substantial shareholder, but who've supported me previously. So we've got a good band of shareholders, but like any company, we got to do it properly, and that's number one.
Absolutely, wise words. We've got a photo here of the last mine that the Liontown Kathleen Valley opening, I think, on the left there.
Yeah.
And obviously, when we last spoke on this stage, I think you were in the final stages of construction. What were some of the lessons that you took away from that process, Tim? There was a big project, and I think you got a lot of kudos in the market for delivering that project the way you did.
Yeah, well, I think the last time I was here, we've come a long way. It was a roller coaster last couple of years, both in construction and development of the mine. We've spent $1 billion there. But Tony Ottaviano, one of the best gets I got was getting Tony. And Tony's built up a fabulous team there. And that's what I've learned. Number one, I've learned that. Number one, you've got to put the money in the ground. And that's what we did there. And, when a commodity drops 90% in 12 months and you're spending $1 billion there and you've got banks getting jittery, we performed. We had a very good, tight, agile board and a very good management team. And, despite everyone saying you can't mine underground, you're going to run out of water, every obstacle in the world, we've sailed through and dealt with the situations, right? So, and then on top of that, we had, corporate activity. So, I've learned a lot of lessons, but in this game, you never stop learning. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tim, just I guess sort of looking ahead, I mean, you've outlined that philosophy that you're going to do it right. It's going to take as long as it'll take to get it right, but there's a clear roadmap, isn't there?
No, absolutely.
And tell us, for the benefit of people sitting here today, looking at MI6 as an investment opportunity, what does the journey broadly look like for people who come on board, now? Well,
I think you've got to look at the overall high level. The resource, we're going to move that into reserve. Our objective is to have a mine for 10 to 15 years producing 130, 150,000 ounces. There's not too many other deposits around which aren't being developed as like Bullabulling. So personally, I want to take this to a $1 billion, $2 billion company. I can't see why we can't.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, that's what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah.
And your track record speaks for itself. So, Tim, we might just sort of wrap up with a few final thoughts on MI6 because being an MI6 presentation, and then I know that Grady wants to get the panel up here shortly, but for the benefit of those perhaps hearing the story for the first time today, because MI6 is a very different company to what it was previously when Dave came and presented. It was a junior explorer. It's now a serious company and it's scaling up very quickly, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, but it just shows you what you can do. And I think all the investors here are looking for investments like MI6, and there's been some great presentations today, is that what you can achieve in the mining business. And look, I think we're going to have a period of strong growth in of course we've got it in gold, but other commodities, and I think it's the place to be. And, MI6 should be on your portfolio, the way I see it. It's on mine.
Absolutely. Look, that's great, Tim. Thank you. I just thought I'd better check that I'd asked all the questions Luke wanted me to ask.
Oh, right. All of them.
Tim, it's been greatly appreciated. We love having you at Resources Rising Stars.
Yeah.
And, you've been a great contributor to this event over a long period of time.
And Nick, Sharon and Paul, thank you very much. I think, I used to go to a lot of conferences, but I go to BMO and this one. And because what I love about this conference is we're actually talking to human beings who actually write the check out. And thank you again. So thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Tim. Put your hands together, please. Tim Goyder.